You ever wanted to come into a sports bar where the barkeeps know their game? Well, the Jeff Beecham Network Multiverse of Media has got a production just for you. Sit down and relax as the Stat Boy and his partner break down the statistics in all things sports. Whether it's football, basketball, motorsports, baseball, hockey, soccer, professional wrestling, mixed martial arts, boxing, and much, much more. All are welcome. Your barkeeps here keep you up to date and in the know of everything going on in sports, while also having a pleasant conversation about it all. Your host and owner of the bar, Stat Boy Mike. His partner in crime, Dory Lou. And a host of other guests coming in. The food's hot, the seats are warm, the drinks are ice cold, and the sports talk is plentiful. Cassidy 18 Studios presents Stat Boy Sports Bar. Take a bar stool and enjoy the show.
Hello, my internet fans. Welcome to another edition, a Monday edition of Stat Boy Sports Bar for June 17th, 2024. We're on Monday here again because in about 90 minutes or so, we get to do it all over again, just like we did last week, as the Boston Celtics look to claim their 19th NBA title against the Dallas Mavericks. Of course, the Mavericks won Game 4. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But tonight is Game 5. So that is why we are on the air today on Monday. How about that? All the media people were saying, "Oh, it's a lock, it's a sweep, it's a guarantee for the Celtics." Nothing is guaranteed, as always. So that's why we're on Monday today. So that means I have to be at work tomorrow, and I have to be at work on Wednesday, my regular job. And if Dallas can do it again in Boston, we will be back in the sports bar just for a watch along. It won't be Stat Boy Sports Bar on Friday. It'll just be the watch along for Game 6 on Thursday. So that's why we're here. Hope you're all having a great Monday. Hope you don't have a case of the Mondays. But, it's as I said in the 80s, it's just another manic Monday. If you know, you know. It's been a great day today. Got to go out and see a movie again for the second week in a row. I took a work friend with me. Invited her to a movie. Her name is Rachel. And I said, let's just go see a movie. So last week we went and saw Bad Boys Ride or Die. This week we went and saw Inside Out 2 from Disney, of course. A lot of children in the theater. School is out, I believe school is out here in Sevier County, getting ready for 4th of July weekend next 2 weeks. Saw some great previews. Saw the preview again for Despicable Me 4, which is coming out in, I think, about 3 weeks. And Zach Levi has a new movie. I don't remember the full title, but the concept of the movie, he can draw anything he wants with a magic purple crayon, and it comes to life. So that's a possibility as well. Of course, Twisters is coming out, and I believe later in July, Deadpool versus Wolverine. That's looking good as well. So not much else has been going on. Work is work. Instacart is Instacart. A lot of things that have been happening at work. A lot of stories and a lot of people. Now, if you have your local Walmart in the town you live in, and Sevierville is the neighboring town, Forge and Gatlinburg, known as Sevier County, we are a tourist town. We have Dollywood, we have the main parkway, we have attractions. Gatlinburg has the aquarium. So we're a tourist town, and we have a lot of cabins. And a lot of people travel to my place of employment for necessities, mostly food. They come in from all over to come to Sevier County, Tennessee. They rent out a cabin. They buy tons of groceries. And a lot of people do this along with locals. And the running joke in where I work is it always this busy? It's not busy. This isn't busy. This is normal. I'm used to this stuff. And then, of course, they say, well, in the Walmart that I'm from, which prompts me to want to say, well, you're not there. You're in Tennessee right now. But I can't say that because that'd be rude. So that's a thing that pops up a lot at my job. So we're going to get into the news stories for the week. Remember, if you want to stop me dead in my tracks, get me to acknowledge you, super chat. It's as simple as that. 25 of you people watching so far, I greatly appreciate it. Let's get those numbers up. We'll get through the news, and depending on how long we go, we'll also determine if I keep the feed going and go right into the playoff coverage, or I will stop this feed and start a brand new one around the top of the hour so you can have like a little bit of a break. Get your snacks, get your meals, get your bottles of water, your drinks if you're doing that too, to see the Celtics take on the Mavericks. Let's bring up the graphics and bring up the stories and get through the news so we can get to the court and find out what happened and what's going to happen. We start with the PGA Tour. Bryson DeChambeau is your 2024 U.S. Open champion. This news report is off of P.com. It is written by Paul Hodowanic, Hodowanic. You can find him on Twitter at Paul Hodowanic, all one word. Brian DeChambeau fired a final round 71 to win the U.S. Open by one stroke over Rory McIlroy. It is DeChambeau's second major victory. He had won the 2020 U.S. Open at Winged Foot. It was dramatic until the final moment. DeChambeau overcame a late deficit and benefited from several McIlroy blunders to finish. The American managed a par on the 18th hole, getting up and down from a greenside bunker 55 yards away. DeChambeau hit the bunker shot tight to 4 feet and sunk the putt to finish at 6 under, a stark contrast to McIlroy, who also had 4 feet for par on the 72nd hole, but missed. McIlroy made 3 bogeys in his final 4 holes to finish 5 under. DeChambeau played the same stretch in 1 over, which was good enough to get the job done. Tony Finau and Patrick Cantlay finished in a tie for 3rd at 4 under. Matthew Pavon was 5th at 3 under. What started as a 3-shot DeChambeau lead quickly got interesting after a shaky start. DeChambeau made the turn in 1 over 36 while McIlroy was 2 under. That cut the lead to 1, and by the end of the 12th hole, the lead had flipped. McIlroy made 4 birdies in 5 holes, caning a birdie on the 13th to briefly take a 2-shot lead, but it was DeChambeau who managed his game best down the stretch. Playing in the group behind McIlroy, DeChambeau answered with a birdie on the 13th, limiting the damage from there. He dropped just 1 shot in the closing 5 holes, hitting the green in regulation on the final 5 holes. And other than a 3-putt at the 15, DeChambeau made relatively stress-free pars until the 72nd hole. McIlroy is still searching for his first major victory since the 2014 PGA Championship. After he lost the 2023 U.S. Open, McIlroy said he would go through 100 Sundays of major championship defeat to get another major. One down. Hopefully he won't need 99 more to get the monkey off his back. And I'm just scrolling down here. I would have liked to see a little bit more about Tiger Woods not being able, but he did miss the cut. And there was a report of a player that actually made the cut at the end of the second round. Don't remember his name, but it was on the PGA Tour YouTube channel that a player made a hole-in-one, sank an ace to make the cut of the second round. As far as your top 10 in the FedEx Cup standings, no really major changes. Scotty Scheffler still leads at 50-68, Xander Schauffele at 31-17, Rory McIlroy at 24-45, Colin Morikawa at 21-01, Ludwig Aberg at 19-35, Wyndham Clark at 19-15, Sahith Theegala at 18-33, Hideki Matsuyama at 18-15, Bjorn Hun An at 16-20, and Patrick Cantlay at 14-55. Remember, it's the top 70 players that go for the FedEx Cup. It's a 3-tournament championship. 70 then gets cut down to 50, and then 50 gets cut down to 30. And that's going to be coming up, I believe, close to the fall, if I remember the schedule correctly. All right, let's switch over to the ladies, and let's see what the ladies did in the Measure LPGA Classic. This report being written by the Associated Press, and you can find it on lpga.com. Lilia Vu won the Measure LPGA Classic in a playoff Sunday in her return from a back injury, spoiling Lexi Thompson's bid for her first victory in 5 years. Playing for the first time since the Ford Championship in late March in Arizona, Vu beat Thompson and third-round leader Grace Kim with a 5-foot birdie putt on the third extra hole, the par 5 fourth at tree-lined Blythefield Country Club. A former number one player and double major winner last year, Vu won for the 5th time on the LPGA Tour. She birdied the par 5 18th in regulation for a 7-under 65, then twice more to match Thompson and Kim, who ended the day 5 strokes ahead of Thompson and 8 clear of Vu on the first 2 playoff holes. Of course, the ladies are playing to the CME Globe. We do have a new player in the top 10. Nelly Korda is your number one player at 32.85, Anna Green at 14.95, Ayaka Fiore at 13.73, Lydia Ko at 11.57, Brooke M. Henderson at 9.75, Maya Stark at 9.69, Yuka Sasso at 9.51, Gabriella Ruffles at 800, Cy Young Kim at 7.98, and Patty Tavatanakit at 7.86. All righty. Let's take a look and see what's going on. All right. Got a quick note here from Renegade. All right. Good. Okay, we'll continue on. All right, moving on to tennis. The Boss Open and the Libema Open in Germany and the Netherlands, respectively. Jack Draper won the Boss Open, and Alex de Minaur won the Libema Open. And your top 8, not much in a change there. Yannick Sinner is still your number 1. Alexander Zverev is 2 at 43.85. Carlos Alcaraz at 3,900. Casper Ruud at 34.35. Daniil Medvedev at 31.50. With the win in the Netherlands, Alex de Minaur and Stefanos Tsitsipas switch, and Andrei Rublev is in 8th place. 3 tournaments took place for the ladies. The Libema Open Women's Edition in the Netherlands, won by Ludmila Samsonova. The Rothesay Open in Nottingham, Great Britain, and the BBVA Open in Valencia, Spain. On Lee and Katie Bolter are the winners there. No change at all in the top 8. All were the same from last week. Iga Swiatek, Arina Sabalenka, Elena Rybakina, Coco Gauff, Jasmine Paolini, Danielle Collins, Qinwen Zhen, and Jelena Ostapenko, all exactly the same. No changes whatsoever. NASCAR hit Iowa for the Iowa Corn 350. And this report comes directly from NASCAR.com. Ryan Blaney wins inaugural Cup race at Iowa, scores first 2024 victory. This time, there was no unpleasant surprise waiting for Ryan Blaney near the finish line of a NASCAR Cup Series race. Grabbing the lead on crew chief Jonathan Hasler's two-tire call under the final caution of Sunday night's Iowa Corn 350, Blaney led the final 88 laps of the inaugural Cup race at the .875-mile Iowa Speedway. So it's not a three-quarter mile. It's not a full mile. It's right in the middle. I don't know what the be between three quarters and a whole, but 5/16, who knows? In front of a large contingent of family and friends, the reigning series champion crossed the finish line 0.716 seconds ahead of runner-up William Byron, who was racing on 4 new tires after a pit stop under caution for Chris Boucher's accident on lap 260. The victory was Blaney's first of the season and the 11th of his career. Blaney now has won at Iowa Speedway in all 3 national series: Cup Series, Truck Series, and Xfinity Series. A sweep in Iowa. All told, the race winner led 4 times for 201 of 350 laps on a track that was repaved in the bottom 2 lanes in the corner. And so we go to the top 10. Chase Elliott took 3rd. Christopher Bell took 4th. Ricky Steinhaus 5th. Joey Logano 6th. Josh Berry 7th. Alex Bowman 8th. Daniel Suarez 9th. And Brad Keselowski 10th. Kyle Larson's been at the top of the standings for a while, but now Chase Elliott's in charge at 591 points. Larson's behind only by 8 points. Denny Hamlin and William Byron round out the top 4. Those are the top 4 spots you want to be in the season-ending race at Phoenix. Because remember, in Phoenix, the racer in the final 4 that does the best and finishes the best, but not necessarily win, is the Cup Series champion. You don't have to win to be when you're in the top 4. You just got to finish better than the others. Martin, of course, is last season's regular season champion. He is currently in 5th. Tyler Reddick, Ryan Blaney, and Christopher Bell finished 8. Keselowski, Chastain, Ty Gibbs, and Alex Bowman make the top 12. And the final grouping, these guys are in. The 16th spot is the bubble. You have to be above spot number 16 to be in the playoffs. Chris Boucher, Bubba Wallace, Joey Logano, and Kyle Busch. In the Xfinity Series, I didn't change the name of it, but it was from Iowa. Sam Meyer took first place in his number 1 Chevrolet for JR Motorsports. Riley Herbst took 2nd in the 98 Ford. Corey Heim 3rd in the 26 Toyota. Sammy Smith 4th in the number 8 Chevrolet. Sheldon Creed 5th in the number 18 Toyota. Cole Custer in the double lot Ford. I love saying that, in 6th. Matt DiBenedetto in the number 38 Ford for Viking Motorsports through RSS Racing. It's a joint. It's a pairing. It's it's one team through another. That's why he gets both. Chandler Smith, number 81 in his Toyota. Ross Chastain is number 92 in his Chevrolet, and Daniel Dye in his number 10 Chevrolet. Cole Custer in the double lot Ford is your current leader at 547. Chandler Smith is only down by a point. Austin Hill is 3rd. Justin Allgaier 4th. Jesse Love 5th. Sheldon Creed 6th. Riley Hurst 7th. AJ Allmendinger 8th. Parker Kligerman 9th. Sam Meyer 10th. Sammy Smith 11th. And Shane Van Gisbergen 12th. No Truck Series race again this week. They have that shortened schedule. I do believe they might be coming back next week. Not totally certain, but we shall see. We have a 3-time UFL champion in the Birmingham Stallions. Now, although this is the inaugural season of the UFL, which was a joint production or a combination of the XFL and the USFL, they are still being billed as 3-time champions because they have won 3 in a row, 2, of course, in the USFL, XFL, and the third one being right now. shut out the San Antonio Brahmas completely, 25-0. And I do believe I have a story on this one. Yes, I do. This is being taken directly from UFL.com, written by Luke Adams. The Birmingham Stallions shut out the San Antonio Brahmas 25-0 Sunday at the Dome at America Center to win the inaugural United Football League Championship. Two of the top defenses in the league created a stalemate and a scoreless tie for virtually the entire first half. It took a while, but Birmingham's top-rated offense finally got on track late in the first half. The Stallions scored on 3 straight possessions spanning the second and third quarters to grab a 22-0 lead and cruise to the shutout victory. In the end, the Stallions' high-powered offense and an inspired performance from their defense led to a third straight championship for Birmingham. Skip Holtz's team won the 2022 and 2023 USFL championship prior to the merger of the XFL and USFL that created the United Football League. All righty. So congratulations to them, as the UFL is considered a success, and here are your champions. Well done indeed. All righty, moving on. WNBA action is still going on. There was another report on another hard foul against Caitlin Clark. So I don't know what's going on now. The Fever are 15 games in. This is a 40-game season. We're almost at the halfway point. All-star voting has begun at the midway point of the season. Of course, you get all-star stuff. And so the jitters need to be gone by now. The Fever have won 2 games in a row. Their record has moved up. They are no longer at the bottom. They're getting very close to the middle of the rankings and the records. Connecticut is still your number 1 team at 12-1. New York is 12-2. Minnesota is 10-3. Seattle is 9-5. Phoenix is 7-7. They're at 500. The Aces are tied with the Dream at 6-6. They're the Fever at 5-10. Chicago Sky at 4-9, Los Angeles at 4-10, Dallas at 3-9, and the Mystics at 2-12. All right, this was mentioned, I believe, on. I don't think it was open mic night, but it was. I want to say it was simply predicting, or the last. I believe it was on the last watch along that we did last week. That 2024 is taking place. Now, this is kind of like a precursor to the World Cup. So, and the structure is very similar. There are 6 groups of 4 countries each for 24 countries. The tournament structure is that each team plays each other round robin style. So in Group A, Germany will play Switzerland, Hungary, and Scotland. Switzerland will play Germany, Hungary, and Scotland. Hungary will play Germany, Switzerland, Scotland. Scotland plays Germany, and all that. Each one plays each other round robin. A win is worth 3 points. A draw, in soccer you go to a draw, not a tie. It's a draw. A draw is worth 1 point, and a loss is worth 0. 16 teams will then advance to the knockout round, just like in the World Cup. The 2 teams in each group will automatically advance. Then the 4 out of the 6 teams that are in third place in each group, so that would be Hungary, Albania, Slovenia, and Belgium right now, because Group F and half of Group D have not played yet. Those 4 teams will be kind of like wild cards, and they will even out to make it an even 16. Then those 16 teams play in a standard tournament until 1 team is left. Unfortunately, my country didn't make it this year because there were 48 teams available, and Greece, they ranked I think 33rd out of 24, and that wasn't very good. So in the first matchup there in Group A, Germany defeated Scotland 5-1. They earned the 3 points. They are currently in the lead in Group A. Switzerland beat Hungary 3-1. They have 3 points as well. Now tiebreakers go by goals. So Germany scored 5 goals. Switzerland scored 3 goals. So right now, even though Germany and Switzerland are tied with 3 points each, Germany is the number 1 team in that group. So if by some big thing that the knockout stage took place today, then Germany and Switzerland would be in. In Group B, Spain shut out Croatia 3-0, and Italy beat Albania 2-1. So Spain and Italy are your top 2 teams in Group B. In Group C, England shut out Serbia 1-0, and Slovenia and Denmark, they played to a draw, so they had 1 point each. In Group D, there's only been 1 game so far. As far as today, I have not updated this since today. The Netherlands beat Austria 2-1. Okay, there's a mistake there, but that's okay. It should be the Netherlands and Poland, not Netherlands, Australia. And in Group E, Romania beat Ukraine 3-0, and Slovakia beat Belgium. Group F has games tomorrow. So this will be updated for next week, and soccer is back in the lineup. As far as the NBA, if you saw the watch along on Friday, thank you so much for watching. We're going to do it all again in about an hour or so. Dallas said, no, we are not being swept. They dominated. They were right from the start. They just were scoring points left and right. At one point, they had a 45-point lead in the game. Who knew what was happening? But in the end, they said, we are not going away like that. They are staying positive, like the way Lou teaches us. They're going to take it one game at a time. And if that's the scenario to win the NBA Finals, hey, the reverse sweep could take place. Not saying that it will, it could. They are staying positive. But, if Boston, Game 5 is in Boston tonight. So we're going to have a sea of green, literally. And you do not want to make the Boston people mad. They have enough problems with New York. Boston and New York is a great rivalry on the East Coast. But you don't want to make the Boston people mad, because then they'll have to go back down to Dallas and potentially come back up to Game 7. And again, if that all happens, I'll be right here in the chair with the headset on, and the Stat TV, Roku 9000, whatever we want to call it, will be up. Edmonton said the same thing. Something woke up the Oilers, and they scored 8 goals in Game 4 to tell the Florida Panthers, we are not going down. We are Canadian. We are going to fight for Lord Stanley's Cup. They want the cup as bad as they can get it. 8 big goals. Game 5 is tomorrow. Edmonton can do the same thing. 1 game at a time. Each game counts. They can bring it back. It is possible. You never know. Never say never. And finally, I've been neglecting baseball for quite some time. I've just been going about doing the quick stats with who's leading, but these are your totals as of today. There are games being played right now. The New York Yankees are the number 1 team throughout the league at 50-24, followed by the Orioles and the Phillies, both tied at 47-24. Orioles have more runs. Guardians at 44-25, Dodger Blue at 44-29, Seattle at 43-31, Milwaukee at 42-29, Kansas City at 41-32, Minnesota Twins at 40-32, Atlanta at 38-31. That's who we root for. If we're not rooting for the Volunteers in college, we're rooting for the Braves in the pros. Boston and San Diego each have 37 wins. Boston has 35 losses. San Diego has 38. And St. Louis is at 35-35. They are even at 500. And I have the Washington Nationals twice there, but that's okay. 35-36. They are tied with another team. Arizona Diamondbacks at 35-37, tied with the San Francisco Giants. Cincinnati's at 34-37 with the Detroit Tigers and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Chicago is at 34-38. The Cubs tied with the Tampa Bay Rays. New York Mets at 33-37. Texas Rangers at 33-38. Houston at 32-39. Angels at 28-43, not doing so good this season. Colorado Rockies at 25-46. Oakland at 26-48. Miami at 23-48. Chicago at 19-54. I do think that we're getting closer and closer to All-Star break or the midpoint of the season. So we'll see where that goes. And that is pretty much it for all the news. Again, we're done in half an hour. If you did see our watch along of Clash of the Castle, thank you. If you haven't, go back and watch it. I want to quickly say this about Drew McIntyre. Give him the belt already. It's almost, he's popular. He's got a great character. This is a bit of a rant also. Let him have the title. Just, Priest is doing a great job. I'm not saying, I don't like Priest, but having a character, Cody did it, with Roman, and he won, but without saying finish the story. And, Punk is doing a great job as well. But if Drew wants the title so bad, then the execs need to just give him the title and not just for like a Money in the Bank type of thing either. Give him a good run. Give him a 4 or 5 month run with it. Let him have it. Because if you saw footage from Scotland, they cheered for Alba Fire and congratulations, ladies. Good job. You deserve the tag team belts. But they were ticked that Drew walked out not as champion. And there were some issues with the ropes, apparently. A lot of Damian Priest had that was a scary botch. If you want to call it a botch, it was an unintentional botch, scary nonetheless. Got his foot caught up. Hope he's okay. Hope he doesn't have to miss any time. Watch Raw tonight and all that as well. But check the ring ropes, guys. I mean, come on. We were on Ring Crew with Battleground. We made sure those ropes were just right. And when our boss, Sasha Derevko, he would test the ropes and he would make us tighten those ropes just right because you don't want to end up like what Damian Priest did. So I say give Drew the title for about 3 to 4 months. Congratulations to Isla and Alba. Good job. Very emotional too with the family. And the flowers were a nice touch too. I loved the flowers. All righty, friends. So we're 30 minutes in. News is done. This gives you plenty of time to get your drinks, get your meals in. We'll be right back here in about 30 minutes or so, 8 o'clock, a little after, with the pregame show going all the way to tip-off. Then for the next 2 to 3 hours, Game 5 of the NBA Finals. So thank you, everybody, for watching. Come back about 30 minutes or so. I'll be here. The headset will be on. The TV will be on. And we'll see if Dallas can stay alive in Game 5. So until then, my friends, see you in just a little bit. Remember, get those snacks in and everything else. If you do have to leave, I understand. If you got things to do, like you want to get ready for Monday Night Raw, because it is Monday. Monday Night Raw going up against NBA. Ooh, tough call. Not certain about that. But we'll see how it all plays in. See you in about half an hour, friends. For now, Stat Boy out.
The Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.